Now how about that for an outstanding view of Norwich Cathedral? This magnificent building was once a river gatehouse, and here we had a canal. Come back to that in a moment. But this here, there was a ferry which from one side of the river to the other. And it's strange that a ferry should be here because Bishop's Bridge, the one we saw earlier, is not very far down there. So it was not really necessary to be there at all. Now, the canal here was built to bring in stone from Caen in France to the cathedral, Norwich Cathedral, when it was being built in the 12th century. Now, why would they want to do something like that? The reason that stone had to be brought up here is because there's no local stone suitable for building structures like that. There's flint, and you can't really build cathedrals with flint. But just imagine the work that would have gone into building a structure like that. It doesn't bear thinking about. Now, I've done a calculation. It was a back of the envelope calculation. I'm probably out by billions, but I've so far got a total for the construction of that. If that were built today using the methodology of the time, it would have cost somewhere in the region of 15 billion euros. That makes it around, what, 4 times more costly than the most expensive building ever in today's money. Now, the question is, where did this money come from? Why was it used to build a cathedral and not build something which would be useful for people, such as housing, such as infrastructure, such as sanitation? Well, I'll be coming back to that at a different time as well. To me, I find this thing at the glory of God is something which constantly shocks me, the hypocrisy of it. But I mean, it's nice to look at today, let's face it. Oh, and by the way, that was just a back of the envelope calculation, so I could be well out. But anyway, right about that, if you've got any opinions. So the canal would have been roughly where I am now, and it was filled in once the cathedral was completed in the middle of the 12th century. And that building we've got there, though, that dates to around 1600, something like that. Oh, you see there's a bit of Georgian in that as well, building a bit of Georgian. Norwich itself had actually 5 bridges in medieval times. I think about 1300 around then. Having said, there's only one on this side. I mean, the amount of bridges is quite outstanding, really. To think that London, for example, at this time only had one. Having said that, of course, the Wensum is not comparable to the Thames, so it's an unfair comparison. Incidentally, Norwich was then actually bigger than London. It was bigger than London for some time, but only because the city walls actually enclosed parts of fields and things of this nature. This part of the walk alongside the river was opened on the 23rd of March 1972, and it goes through the patio of this pub, which may be good for the pub in some ways, but I get sick of it at times though. People in the summer walking through and they're bringing drinks out. On the other side of the bridge, you can see Norwich Station. It's the mainline station, it's still open. If you want to go to London, you go from there. If you want to go to Newcastle, you go from there. But if you want to go to Newcastle, you got to change. if you want to go to London, you don't have to change.
He says like when we that.
Swans are great when they're flying. Fortunately, don't do it very often, but the way they do it, this flapping motion and the it seems like the difficulty of getting up, I think it's great. Now, Premier Inn, it's got a couple of hotels alongside the river, and I think that's a very good location for it. You may remember the other one was near Colgate earlier. So for today I'm ending the walk here. As you see, it's blocked. You can't come back to the river by walking around. Alternatively, you can go back to the bridge next to the railway station and follow the other side of the river. But it's not quite so interesting from here on out. Now, today is a Friday and there's this wonderful smell of fish and chips in here. Well, it might have been fish and chips, it might have been something else frying, but I'm going to be well behaved and not have any fish and chips because I'm trying to eat healthy food, and apart from that, I've got a stack of stuff in the house which I'm going to eat now. So there'll be no fish and chips for me, but I am going to wander around a bit more around Norwich. I've got lots of films about the history of Norwich, so you can see them on my channel. I'd also like to suggest you take a look at my history site on Facebook, which is called Alan Heath's History Page, and there's a link to that. And got lots of things on lots of other subjects related to history as well. So thanks for watching, and see my other films on Norwich and Norfolk as well. So having done that, come to the Norwich market, and I said I wasn't going to have any fish and chips. Unfortunately, temptation got the better of me. £4 now, pretty good, eh?